Hello my fellow bookworms, witches, nerds and weirdos. I'm Els and welcome to my YouTube channel where I mainly talk about books but sometimes talk about other stuff. Today's video, as you probably guessed, is also about books, specifically a readathon which is starting in a few days, which would be the Medieval-A-Thon. I will try to link the original video down below. If not, then I will give you the title and the name of the person or people who are creating it. But yeah, that's the first readathon I'm taking part in this year, other than my challenge to try and read all of these 80 Penguin Little Black classics. So yeah, if you did want to know about that, I have read 13 of the books so far, in case you wanted to know. But that's completely irrelevant to this video. The main point of this video is that I am going to be explaining my TBR for the Medieval-A-Thon, which is super exciting. This year it's based on different professions, and the one that I chose was the Bard profession, and there are 5 different levels to complete. I will try to link the screenshot for the one that I'm doing, but you can look for the original video if you want to do something different. So yeah. So I just decided to include all of them. So if you want to pause on whichever one you want to take part in, then you can go on ahead and do that. But if you don't want to, that's fine. The first level is the Tavern Poet, in which you choose a book which has a very interesting first line. And the one that I picked out is The Bloody Chamber by Angela Carter. And I thought the first line in this book is really quite interesting. So I'll read it to you. It's quite a long line, but oh well. No idea how many times I've refilmed this because I can't speak. But oh well. First line is, I remember how that night I lay awake in the wagon lit in a tender, delicious ecstasy of excitement, my burning cheek pressed against the impeccable linen of the pillow, and the pounding of my heart mimicking that of the great pistons ceaselessly thrusting the train that bore me through the night. Away from Paris, away from girlhood, away from the white enclosed quietude of my mother's apartment, into the unguessable country of marriage. It was a very long first sentence, but I think you can tell why I chose this book, because it's very literary and the words are very exciting and flowery. Even though there are no flowers talked about, I don't know. Flowery. The next one is level 2, which is Travelling Troubadour, which means that you're touring and travelling and playing music. So you have to read a book with a travelling element. And this one doesn't really have much of a travelling element, but I just wanted to read more Sherlock Holmes. So I picked up A Study in Scarlet and The Sign of the Four. I have read The Sign of the Four previously, but I have not actually read A Study in Scarlet, which is interesting because that's the first book. Why start on the second book? So I will be reading the first book as part of this, and the travel element is that he travels around in order to solve the case, and he goes around London and he knows lots of things about London. Yeah. That's not a huge amount to do with travel, but I really wanted to read that book, so. The third level is The House Musician, and the prompt for that is to read a book with a character in the title. And I've gone for Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin Byron. Or Byron? Byron? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. But anyway, this is a retelling of Cinderella, of course, and the image of Cinderella on the cover is absolutely gorgeous. Like, she looks incredible. But that's totally not the whole reason why I chose this book. No, it genuinely isn't. I heard it's a really good book and I wanted to read it. And character is in the title. Level 4 is a Bard College student, and the prompt for that is to read a book over 400 pages. And I've been quite sneaky with this one because it's only around 417 pages, but it still counts. And it's The Familiars by Stacey Halls, which follows a pregnant woman as the Pendle witch trials are approaching, so I thought that sounded like an interesting read. The 5th and final level is The Legendary Bard, and the prompt for this is a book written by multiple authors. So I thought Dracula's Guest would be a good idea for this one because it's a collection of vampire stories put together by Michael Sims, and there are a lot of different authors. I can name some of the first ones. There's Jean-Baptiste de Boyer, Marquis d'Argent, Antoine Augustin Calmet, George Gordon, Lord Byron, John Polidori, and the list goes on. So that's my 5th book. So these are all the books on my TBR for the Medieval-A-Thon. Let me know what thing you're doing if you're also taking part in this readathon, or like just want to talk to me about books, then that's great. Please also do that because, as we all know, I am a huge book nerd and love talking to strangers on the internet about books because I'm weird. But that's all that I have for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you again for another video. Bye!